basketball student athlete here at the University of Louisville who has found many passions beyond just the court, chasing his athletic dreams and inspiring others. Spencer Legg, welcome to Athlete Unscripted.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Today, we're just really going to dive into everything, the upcoming season, the excitement around that, and then also, those passions that I mentioned off the court. You started your college journey over at College of Charleston.
Correct.
With Coach PK.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys had a good enough relationship for you to say, hey, I'm going to follow you to Louisville. What was your relationship like at Charleston, and how has it continued growing now that you're here at Louisville with him?
Yeah. So I committed to College of Charleston out of high school, and I loved it there, honestly. In a perfect world, I don't know if I would have left, but I think PK and I over the years have just really bonded a relation. We found a really good relationship on and off the court. And I mean, I'd like to think that he maybe trusts me in some sort of way. So when he came over here and got the Louisville job, it was a bunch of question marks at the beginning because I didn't know what I was going to do in the world of the transfer portal, and there's so many different options you have nowadays. So when the staff called me and said that they wanted me to come fill that role, I was like, for sure. And I was really happy to do it.
What stood out to you about the University of Louisville that made you want to come here besides Coach Pat Kelsey? I mean, what other things were you like, okay, I could see myself living here and thriving here?
Mm-hmm. I love that question because on the plane here, I had never been to Louisville. And I'm on the plane coming over, and the flight attendant, somehow we get into a conversation and Louisville basketball comes up. And not only did she announce it on like the PA system to the plane that like we have in 13C, we have Louisville basketball player, but she also told me, she was like, only thing you have to do is beat UK. And I think just from then on, I knew what the fan base was going to be like here. And that was a hint at just how intense our following is. And I think for a lot of guys, it's such a payoff and such a, like, so easy to stay here, and to know that you're going to be loved by fans is really cool.
Yeah, that rivalry, it's embedded.
Oh, yeah, and the rivalry, of course.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. What about Coach Kelsey's leadership style really made you want to continue growing and elevating your basketball career under him?
Yeah, he has that phrase, culture eats strategy for lunch. I don't know if it's his phrase or not, but I think it really works with what we do, and it's, I think, one of the keys to our success. We set out to have our goal was to have the number one culture in the country, which is really hard, probably like even harder, he said, than winning a national championship. But that just, the culture that he brings, and we talk about 25 strong, meaning every person in the program is equally as important, and you have to fill your role. And I think that's just the leg up, honestly, that we have. And I'm just really glad to be a part of his culture because it's super positive, and, everything about it is cool.
Obviously, this season, there's a new team, incoming guys, transfers, freshmen. What has been clicking during this off season? I mean, the season's right around the corner. Everyone's really anticipating it. Mm-hmm. The excitement's growing.
Yeah.
What's been clicking with this group specifically going into this basketball season?
I've said it a bunch already this year, but there's just like a different vibe, in the locker room this year. I think we have a bunch of guys who it's a common goal. We don't have a lot of like big egos or personalities. Everyone's kind of bought into like we talked about PK's culture, and I think that's super special. Like you look at a kid like Mikal on the court, obviously a stud, but off the court, like completely humble. And I think that locker room dynamic is just, I mean, we'll see, but it's super exciting.
Yeah, a lot of people are really eager to see you guys go out there on the court and come together as a team and play and tip off and start playing. What are you most excited for this season?
I like our road trip schedule. We play at a lot of places that, our bucket list places. We play at Cameron Indoor, Duke, and play at North Carolina. And we do that California trip for like a week and a half or something like that. So I think I'm just excited to see like the rubber hit the road, and like the competition and like the teams that we play this year. Like PK said in that interview, like Louisville's not ducking smoke this year. So I think I'm excited to see how we match up with those teams and how we compete.
I've said this before. Your type of role plays a big part in the culture of the team and the vibe in the locker room and really just the energy. You kind of help set the tone for the team. It's really just important in building team culture. What is something behind the scenes that fans don't see about this team, about this basketball program and the culture that it has, that fans might not see, that's really creating momentum for this season?
Like, we talk about our scout team and the way that we prepare. And, you know, the guys that transfer or guys that come in will, like, they'll comment on that and be like, whoa, like, our scout team we are so prepared for the teams we play. So that's my big role is to scout whoever we're playing and help give, like, our guys or the guys that are playing the best look. So I think that's probably one of the things behind the scenes that fans don't really get to see.
Man, oh man, has it been a week for your girl, and I'm exhausted. We've got football season, basketball season coming up. So my favorite way to bounce back is with Suntan City's Wellness Spa. Their spa is equipped with red light therapy that helps with skin texture, touchless massages that get out all the stress knots, and cryotherapy that helps you get great sleep. So I'm feeling recharged after taking my visit to Suntan City, and they have so many other great pieces as well. So treat yourself with some much needed self-care at Suntan City. Learn more about their monthly memberships and wellness spa visits at suntancity.com or download the Suntan City app today.
All right, so it's no secret that you live with type 1 diabetes.
Mhm.
And I just want you to share with our viewers and just share about how you found out about that, what that journey has looked like for you, and the lifestyle changes that came with that.
So I'd like to think it's, like, the biggest reason that I'm here right now on the team. And I think, like, Coach Kelsey probably knows that as well. So when I was 11 years old, I was diagnosed with type 1. And obviously that was, world changing and such a shake up in my life. I was in middle school and no, I wasn't. I was in elementary school. And uh I like to preface it, like, when I talk about it, it's not like a feel bad for me story. It's just
A life
it's
story.
it's the facts of what it was. And I think it fuels a lot of what I do today. So 2 years ago I started Spencer Stan Foundation. And I think the goal, we just knew from the beginning that, like, so many people had come up to us because I was pretty vocal about being a D1 player with type 1 diabetes, and playing at a high level and sustaining that. So we decided we had so much, like, give back from fans at Charleston, and we realized an opportunity to give back to this community. So we started this foundation. Every year that we've been doing it, so we're going on 3 years now, it's just climbed and grown and got way bigger. Ever since I came here, it's taken off because, the Louisville fan base, I have access to, like, a bigger platform. And yeah, I'm really excited to be a part of it. So what we do is we give back to kids and families affected by type 1 diabetes. Last year we had 3 types of events that we hosted. So we would do game day events where we would bring families or children with diabetes to games. They get the full game day experience. And then we do a bunch of other stuff to give back to the community. So it's really cool, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's super cool how you're taking something that started out as, maybe a challenge for you and turning it into a purpose and really impacting others. Spencer Stan has really become this platform to build community and awareness in the type 1 space. People with type 1s, kids with type 1 diabetes. I mean, you're impacting them and helping them use their voice and share and kind of create their own platform and speak on yours. How has sharing your own experience help you connect with others who also have type 1 diabetes?
Yeah. So this past summer, I traveled pretty much across the country, meeting with kids and doing speaking engagements, and basically, like, as much boots on the ground type of impact that I could make as possible is what we did. And recently we just hired this lady, Susan, who's our new like growth director and really helped us take off. And we hired another person, Turner, as well, that was my childhood best friend who's helping with all of our social media campaigning. And we've just really, I think the vision is clear now. And the impact that we had this summer just made all that clear. I don't know if you know this, but our goal for this next year is to get nominated for an ESPY. So that's super exciting. Obviously, that's easier said than done, but we're trying to put in all the work now to be recognized as a foundation that's doing real work.
That's super cool. I mean, managing diabetes while also being a student full time, but having that athlete component, with practices, games, and then also trying to run a charitable organization. I mean, that's a lot to manage. What does your daily routine look like in managing your health and, balancing that while also balancing college basketball, pursuing your degree, and then also Spencer Stan?
For me, it's a lot about preparation, like being prepared. So, for example, from like a diabetes standpoint, like every time I go to class, I make sure that I have everything I need in my backpack. So whether that's like glucose gummies or fruit snacks are my favorite. Used to be Scooby snacks, but they got rid of those apparently. So having that set up in my backpack, having a glucometer in case I need to check my blood sugar, and having my insulin, of course, with me is big. So I think preparation is a big part of that. And then another thing I think about is just being vocal about your diabetes. I was super upfront with like our training staff. So Katie, our trainer, shout out Kate the Great, by the way, helps me tremendously. And she's like super positive and helps me with all the things that I need in and out of practice. So yeah, I think that's a big part of my daily routine, but just being prepared everywhere I go. And
Preparation so that you are prepared if something happens, but you're also like in a way preventing something from happening because you're over prepared. So a lot of young athletes might look up to you as proof that diabetes doesn't have to limit your goals and what you want and can accomplish. What message do you want to send to kids out there who are learning to live with type 1 diabetes?
Our goal has always been to share specifically with kids that even with type 1 diabetes, you can do whatever you want, whether that's playing high-level basketball or being an artist or being a lawyer or a doctor or whatever you want to do in your life. You don't have to let diabetes get in your way. I think that's where our whole mission kind of started, because I was able to see kids with type 1 who, especially newly diagnosed, like it's so scary to them and this whole world feels like it's coming crashing down on you. And to be able to give that light and spread that message that type 1 may be something you live with and have to deal with, but it doesn't have to determine what you do in life. So
your teammates have also gotten involved in this initiative. You have Ryan Conwell, Isaac McNeely, and Adrian Woolley. They're all Spencer Stan ambassadors. Super cool. What's it mean to you to have them supporting your charitable organization and using their platforms to speak on the importance of type 1 diabetes, the impact, and really just spreading awareness?
Yeah, it's meant the world, honestly, because, those three guys, all three of them transfers, like big time names, big time guys. And for them to have the heart to want to help out with my foundation, it's been huge. And they're going to help with, we'll do all sorts of events, community engagement, and just honestly spreading advocacy for type 1 diabetes. So yeah, it's been really cool because, I've gotten really close to those guys since they showed up, and, they let me know. They're like, hey, however we can help with Spencer Stan, just let us know. For example, we had the tip-off luncheon yesterday for the Louisville basketball team, and each of those guys on their own initiative kind of told their table about how they're helping and how they're going to help impact the type 1 community. So it's been really cool to partner with those guys.
If you could give a message to Card Nation about what they need to do this year, show up and show out, what kind of energy they need to be bringing into the KFC Yum, what's your message to them?
I would just say be ready for something really special, I think we have a lot of new stuff that we're going to show this year. I can't tell you much about that, but they'll see that coming up shortly. I would say just show up and show out. I think having that home court advantage, like having a loud arena and having that thing rocking, like that's that definitely helps us, and that's, a lot of people call it like the six man, like that's like, that's a big deal for us. So I think let's just be as loud as possible and show up.
Well, you've built an identity that's more than just basketball, about resilience, about purpose, and just about connection and connecting with others off the court as well. When you look back on your college journey so far, I know you're headed into another year.
Last lap.
Yep. What is one quote or a lesson that really sums up your experience in college so far?
Or there's a quote that through Spencer Stan has been super relevant from Vivian Green, which is something along the lines of life isn't about waiting for the rain to pass, but instead dancing in the rain. And I think that talks a lot about my type 1 journey and being able to, like, is never going to be perfect. And, but you still have to enjoy this and get the most out of this as possible. So, honestly, yeah, I'm just proud of the college journey that I've been able to have so far. I'm super blessed that the people around me have been able to support me. So, but that's my one go-to quote for sure that I think helps kind of sum up everything that I've been able to do, or lucky enough been able to do.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on
Thank
Athlete
you. This was cool.
Unscripted. And I wish you guys the best of luck this season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Athlete Unscripted. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an exclusive episode and you stay in the know on all things athletics. I'll see you next time.